Hey guys, welcome back to a new Coruscant update. Today we are going to be working on Padme's apartment, and as you see right here, we did some pretty big progression, but not without any losses. We have lost the floor. So, without further ado, let's get into the build and just see what we've done today. So during the build progress over here, we had some issues. I was first working on actually fixing the walls. I wanted to swap out the colors first for the walls with the windows, as well as fixing the windows, because those tasks seemed to me the most easiest to pick up at start. And of course I wanted to get a bit back into the build because it had been a while. For you it has been a while, for me it has been a while. So I wanted to make it easier myself. So I was starting out with fixing the windows. I added some 1x, and I've actually decided to remove the 1x3 plates because they were just too off. And I thought I could just easily swap it out with just simple 2 times a 1x2 and then just put a 1x1 stud on the side. So it's actually fully smooth, just a glass plain window, no more gray colors in there. Just the official colors, just what we want. Next up at the pillars, I've swapped out all the 2x2 slopes and the 2x3 slopes into the correct colors. Also, some of them were still the 1x3s or the 1x2s, so I removed all of those and just swapped them out for the ones that we've ordered, and that actually turned out pretty good. I've also raised up a little part for the window, and that was because I've noticed when I wanted to open or close the window that it actually was interfering with one slope, and therefore I couldn't close it, couldn't open it, and I couldn't really seal it off. So by adding one plate into the build, I've actually been able now to make it flush, which is not in the video and currently not in this state. Why that is, you may ask? Well, that is something for later. So with swapping out all of those things, I had to do 4 of these walls, and then I noticed I missed some 1x3 inverted bricks as well. So some of them are still in dark bluish gray, some of them are in light bluish gray. Yeah, it is what it is. Once I finished all of the pillars, it was actually pretty doable, but then I wanted to start undoing the floor. And the floor, I found some issues because I added the 1x1 headlight bricks in the royal blue color to fix with the floor, but there was one issue with that because I noticed as soon as I applied it that 2 next to each other is not the same size as if I would build the other way. So for your thoughts, my build, when it comes to the floor, the dark bluish gray goes from top to bottom, so it's facing the camera, and the royal blue is actually going from left to right when you look at the camera's perspective. So the only way to fix those headlight bricks was to add them onto the size that is the same as the dark blue, top to bottom, instead of going left to right. But that gave me a new challenge, so now I would have to remove that one brick on the royal blue to actually make it work, because else it won't all stick together anymore. So I decided to do that. Then I realized that I had to swap it out for plates and tiles. So the tile brick is the one that has no studs, and the plate is of course the one with studs on the top. And I realized when I want to make a smooth tile so it will connect nicely and smooth, it doesn't fit with those headlight bricks. And when I use the one with the studs, it does fit, but then you have a stud floor, which is definitely not something that I wanted to have. So that was the issue 1. After that, I've also had multiple times where I was building and just the floor broke, the balcony broke, then the floor broke again. I'm pretty sure the window broke as well. I think I had 4 or 5 things that kept on breaking, and that didn't help out with my build, and it kind of became a bit of a depressive thing. So when trying out the floor, I eventually started just to leave it as is. I really was done with the floor. I've tried my best and it just keeps on breaking, and I thought, you know what, let's start with something else, because I want to use the other pieces. I want to finally elevate the building so at least it looks a bit different. I have had this build sliding around on my tables left to right, top to bottom, just everywhere, because I couldn't have a use at that point, and now I had all those orders done. So I really wanted to do something with the build, right? So Therefore, I decided to just go ham and start elevating the balcony itself. And then I realized that these cylinder bricks, the quarter cylinder ones, were one brick taller than the plates, which was already something that I kind of hated. But you know, you have no choice here. What I wanted to have is as much of a flush look as what I can. Those corners sadly also give me the little gaps after one and another, because that's just how the mold is. But I think overall it just turned out great when it comes to the balcony area, so that was something to be really proud of. And then I wanted to elevate the main area, and that was something that was a bit harder because I didn't really know how to tackle this. I just started adding some plates, and then I realized that I had another issue because I hoped that both sides would be 3 of those big panels, but sadly they became to be 2 of those panels and then 2 of the 1x2 cheating wall bricks. So it didn't really turn out again the way how I wanted to have, so I just crossed my fingers and hoped that it would fit and that I had enough. Luckily, I found some 1x16 bricks to actually enhance the walls a bit further, and once I had my desired length, I just put some pillars next to it and just figured out and see what height I was working with. I noticed it was not long enough, so I just added 1 more brick to the bottom. I of course had to do that to the balcony area as well. And then I was finally able to piece out everything and just get it all together. Although it was kind of hard because I tried to add the pillar, then I tried to add the wall, and then the pillar broke, and then I tried to re-add the pillar, and then the wall snapped off, and then the 16x16 plate, the foundation, it broke. So I flipped it upside down, put some extra Technic beams in there, and just tried my absolute best to at least reinforce the build a tiny bit more as what I had, until eventually we were able to stack the whole build together, and then we have this massive build. So guys, here we have the big massive build. It has been chaotic. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've tried to build this in one day. So it was a bit quick here and there, and I eventually just stopped. I was like, okay, if I'll just continue now further, I will start like changing more of the colors on the top. I still need some pieces for the balcony area, and then I didn't really know what to do anymore. But I also realized if I was trying to fix the top over here, then I still didn't have the floor worked out. So if I was building the top, I would have to disassemble it one more time, because I need to access the floor, because now the floor is laying loose separately here with like all these pieces, because I realized that some of the stud connections that did work before now do not fit anymore. So I tried to see what happened, and it seems to be that the dark blue bricks over here, the line that goes well all the way from the left to the right, is started to bend a bit, and I think that is because there is too much pressure from either the pillar design that goes that has a connection on the front as well as on the back to try to stay in place, so they're a bit more sturdy. Maybe that is the reason why. It could be from these plates over here that once they are connected, it is kind of giving a bit too much stress to the bricks and therefore start to bend a bit. I had to do my math with all these extra plates and all those kind of things, and only literally the center part is able to connect and the rest just doesn't line up, especially now the head bricks. So I think I would have to do the worst thing once again to this Padme's apartment mock, and that is taking this whole part right here, just removing it, and just start the floor design just one more time, just outside of my head again. Just see what we're doing, and there are 2 options here. One is either just to work from left to right or bottom to top, so only lock yourself into one angle only and that is it, or I'm going to leave it as is and just put those sections in as loose elements, so they just sit there by gravity. And that is something that I rather do not want. I rather want to have everything stuck, because when I'm moving a big base plate where this part will be on top, people that are new, welcome to the channel. I'm trying to build Coruscant on those big 48 by 48 base plates, and this is level 3. So I will have a big tall building that is going to be sitting on top of those plates, and if I'm moving it, the higher it is, the more it's gonna wobble around. And if I want to have an open back, I'm not sure how loose these parts will be and how I will be able to fix it. So yeah, these are kind of the hardest scenarios that I have. Plus, what also is an issue is that the royal blue color, well, that's at least how the light blue color is mentioned. This is kind of a new color in a way. So not every piece has been made in this color yet. So I'm also limited on the availability on this color palette in this case. So yeah, I just have to figure out how I can enhance the walls as well as the floor and make it all work. But at least I have raised up the Padme's apartment platform. I still have plenty of these walls remaining, so I could even elevate it higher, but I just want to start somewhere and see where we go. Like, eventually I will be building like so high up that if I want to, you know, it will be so fragile. So I want to make sure that it will be at least a bit sturdy still, because if you don't know, let me rotate this. Never mind. And now we can remove this one anyway. We will have to remove it anyway, because I want to rework the floor. But as you can see over here, it is fully hollow. It's literally just being held by these pillars and the front, and that is literally it. So yeah, if I'm going to up it even more, these pillars are already very wobbly, so they won't be lasting that long. So I would have to enhance it even more, and I do have some pillars left. I don't think I will have like too many of them yet, and there's way more to build. So I don't want to allocate all my pillars into this apartment build, and we really need to reduce the budget on this because it has been going insane. I think estimated if we would apply all of the bricks onto this build that we have bought so far, I think it will be around the 200 or 300 euro mark. So, ouch. But guys, that is it for this episode. Maybe a bit short for you guys, but we also had the Wednesday video. Hopefully you guys liked it either way. Thank you guys for subscribing, and make sure to like this video as well. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. What should I do with this build? Maybe you would say, oh, just try to do a floor like this, or maybe change it up a bit more. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.